Am I okay? Can everybody hear everything? Okay. Thank goodness I'm loud, so that helps. Anyway, good morning, and I just want to say thank you to everyone for joining us this morning. And I especially want to thank the team here at the water treatment plant, along with the City of Sioux Center for hosting us, as well as a number of local and regional leaders and state legislators for the, I guess, warm welcome. They say warm welcome. I feel like it's a little bit of a chilly welcome, but I'm really proud to have with me Senator Taylor, Representative Wheeler, and Representative Bush. It's always a pleasure to make a big announcement in a community that directly benefits from it, and that's exactly what we're doing here today. I'm pleased to share that 3 exciting projects in communities across Iowa are being awarded grants through the Iowa's Water Infrastructure Fund. The state fund was established with $75 million to invest in projects that enhance the quality of Iowa's water resources, including those that reduce flood risk, promote water and wastewater reuse, and provide significant economic benefits to the state, all of which are attributes of the projects being awarded today, including one right here at this site. But before I get into that, I want to start with the announcement of projects happening in eastern and central Iowa. So first, up to $11 million will go to the Dyersville East Road Utilities Project at the Field of Dreams site for water distribution and wastewater collection infrastructure. The project will serve 114,000 Iowans across 2 counties and create 350 jobs. Just as importantly, it will allow us to maintain the momentum after the incredible success of last year's Major League Baseball game that was held at the Field of Dreams. What an amazing reflection of who we are and what we are. It was so fun. The grant will be supplemented by private investment of more than $60 million from This Is Heaven, and that's a company that's owned by Frank Thomas and Rick Heidner that has a controlling interest in the Field of Dreams site, and Go the Distance, the organization that actually owns the site. So, and together, the investment is projected to stimulate $40 million in local tourism revenue. The Field of Dreams presents a unique opportunity to showcase the places and people that make Iowa an ideal destination to live, work, and to raise a family, and the funding will ensure that we take full advantage of that potential. So the second project that we're highlighting today, we're awarding up to $15 million to the Icon Water Trails project in downtown Des Moines to mitigate the dam on Fluor Drive. In addition to removing safety hazards associated with the dam, the mitigation will allow Iowans to enjoy a river run experience on the Raccoon River and lay the groundwork for recreational destination in the area. The project is expected to create more than 150 jobs and more than $100 million in increased local revenue. And finally, why we're here today at the, it's like, come on, right? Come on, let's get to the big announcement. Why we're at the water treatment plant in Sioux Center is to announce $12 million for the expansion of the Lewis and Clark Regional Water System. So like the Explorers, whose name it shares, the Lewis and Clark Regional Water System took on a daunting challenge when the project began, but one that's well worth the effort and the investment. A first of its kind tri-state drinking water system estimated to benefit 350,000 people living in northwest Iowa, southeast South Dakota, and southwest Minnesota. The project was authorized by Congress in 2000 and ground was broken in 2003. And nearly 20 years later, the system is 86% complete, and full completion, of course, is dependent on federal funding. So as residents of Northwest Iowa will be the first to say, dependable, sustainable drinking water is a cornerstone of economic growth and prosperity. This is doubly true in rural areas like this one that depend on water-intensive agriculture industries. The Lewis and Clark system expansion promises to deliver the reliable water that Northwest Iowans need to attract new development and strengthen their communities. Today's announcement demonstrates Iowa's commitment to this project and the people it serves. The $12 million award will enable a significant expansion of the system, providing an additional 15 million gallons of water per day to its member communities. There's a total, of the 20 total member communities, 5 are located in Iowa: Sioux Center, Hall, Sheldon, Sibley, and Rock Rapids, which remains the only Iowa community to be fully connected to the water system to date. Iowa's investment will provide the necessary funding to construct new pump stations and update existing ones while continuing to build out. I feel like I might be taking your talking point, so I'm starting to think I maybe should be quiet. I'm stealing his thunder. So I'm going to stop, and just in case, and if I need to come back, or you come back up and see them, we're fortunate to really have project leaders and members who are with us here today. It's my pleasure to introduce Troy Larson, the Executive Director of the Lewis and Clark Regional Water System, and hopefully, if I haven't stole his thunder, he's going to provide a little bit more details about what's actually happening. Troy.
Thank you, Governor. For $12 million, you can steal my thunder all day long. So you just go ahead. You go ahead. We are so honored to have you here today, and Lieutenant Governor Gregg, thank you. Longtime supporter. Governor Branstad was a champion of this project, and as Lieutenant Governor and now Governor, Governor Reynolds has just been phenomenal. And this is, you often talk about politicians maybe not putting their words into actions at times. She has always put her money where her mouth is, literally. So we can't be more pleased. I don't want to steal my chairman's thunder, and so I have kind of the boring part of today, and that is to just explain how this all fits into what we're doing, some of the basics, the facts and figures, the nuts and bolts. Before I do that, though, I do want to make just a few announcements. The governor did introduce a few of our legislators already, but we really appreciate Senator Taylor, Representative Wheeler, Representative Bush for being here. They've been longtime supporters of the project as well. We have a couple mayors. Of course, the mayor of Sioux Center, Dave Crawling, thank you for your hospitality. Thank you for the almond patties, coffee, thank you. And Mayor Arlen Moss from Hall is here as well. And then a few of the directors, 2 of them you'll be hearing from, but we also have Jim Collins, who is from Hall. Jim is a director on the board. Jim Hoy with Rock Rapids Municipal Utilities, and Larry Pedley as well. So let's give those folks a round of applause. So, facts and figures. Before we talk about the expansion, I have to just back up a little bit and talk about what we call the base system. The base system for Lewis and Clark is 45 million gallons a day. To construct that base system, we are getting 80% funding from the federal government, 10% came from the 3 states, and 10% came from the 20 members. And the states and members prepaid their share about a decade ago. So many years ago, they prepaid their share. Funding in the bipartisan infrastructure law will come close to completing the project, but not entirely. So we will need more funding. Sioux Center and Hall are expected to be connected in late 2022 or early 2023, so end of this year, first part of next year. Sheldon in late 23, early 24, and then Sibley and Madison, South Dakota, the only other community, is late 2024, early 25. So again, that's the base system, 45 million gallons a day. We're here to talk about expansion. You may be asking, why are we talking about expansion if you don't have the base system completed? The drought the last couple of years has made it clear we need more water than what the members have reserved. These members had to reserve that water back in 93. Their crystal ball is good, but not that good. And so the system was designed so it could easily be expanded to 60 million gallons a day in the future. So we're talking about an expansion from 45 million to 60 million gallons a day. Each member is entitled to its proportional share of that expansion, and all 20 members have already agreed to participate in that expansion. The cost of the expansion is just over $100 million. Unlike the base system where we have cost share from the federal government and the states, there is no cost share for that expansion. It's 100% the responsibility of the members. So we have made requests from each of the states for ARPA funding to help offset that cost, because the cost directly impacts the cost of the water that the homes and businesses purchase from Lewis and Clark, from the members. And so this $12 million will help reduce that cost. We also hope to get funding from South Dakota and Minnesota. So every little bit of ARPA funding that we're able to get, and I shouldn't say a little bit, it's a lot, helps bring down that price tag. So this, again, directly benefits those people that are buying water from our members, the homes and businesses purchasing the water. Again, we've made requests from South Dakota and Minnesota, but we don't have their responses yet, but we expect good things as well. I also want to emphasize that no additional capacity can be delivered until 100% of the expansion is completed. So this will give us a good start, but we need to do a lot more. When we complete the expansion really depends on how quickly the members need the water, and also balancing it with funding in terms of borrowing the money. And so we hope in about 8 to 10 years the expansion will be complete. So this is a great start, but we have a ways to go to finish the project. Again, I want to emphasize that this funding will really help the homes and businesses that purchase the water, and it will certainly help that timeline. In terms of when we complete the expansion, this will be a big help to accelerating that timeline, as well as hopefully funding from South Dakota and Minnesota. So that, again, is a little bit of the background. I also want to introduce, sorry I missed one person, Wes Fatma is here with Congressman Feenstra's office. Congressman Feenstra used to serve on the Lewis and Clark board when he was a city administrator in Hall, and has been a longtime supporter of the project. So Wes, thanks for being here as well. So that's the facts and figures. I'm going to turn it back over to the Governor.
Thanks, Troy. Now it's my pleasure to invite Murray Holstein to the podium, Chairman of the Lewis and Clark Regional Water System Executive Committee and Municipal Utilities Manager in Sioux Center, to talk about the impact of the project.
Thanks, Chairman.
There's really only very few reasons I wear a tie on Friday. And Mom and Dad are doing good, so I just want to thank everybody for coming, and good morning. This morning I wear two hats. First of all, as the utility manager for Sioux Center, I just want to thank all our guests here today. It's just a great event that we can have here at Sioux Center, and we're very pleased that you're in our town with us. So very much. Also want to thank our friends and from Hull, Rock Rapids, Sibley, and Sheldon for joining us. A warm welcome to all of you also, and then everybody else also. Thank you very much for being here. And as chair of Lewis and Clark Regional Water System, it's a very exciting day, not only for Northwest Iowa, but for our tri-state region. I've been attending Lewis and Clark board meetings since the project was first incorporated in January of 1990. So that's a long time. So I'm a bike rider, and those hard seats on those bikes and the miles, they can put some calluses on your rear end, but it's nothing like sitting through 32 years of board meetings. So it's something to do. But all kidding aside, I can't think of a better way to celebrate our 32nd anniversary, which is tomorrow actually. So that's pretty great. We're excited here in Sioux Center to receive water in the near future. So there were a lot of years where we didn't know which decade we were even going to receive water. But it's encouraging to see light at the end of the tunnel, and also for completing our base system. But then also, we're already working, as Troy said, on expanding from 45 million gallons a day to 60 million gallons a day. And that's why we're here today, to celebrate that. As Troy indicated, the 20 member cities and rural water systems are responsible for 100% of the cost for expanding the system. That's how important water is to all of us. We have to have it. And of course, Troy mentioned also, it's over $100 million in today's dollars. Last 2 years of drought, all of our communities were asking for more water, which proves that we need this. Troy's crystal ball, he wasn't even here in 1993, but our crystal ball, we were thinking, what we got was pretty good, and we often look back and say, hey, we wish we had a little more. That's why this expansion capacity is so important, just for our quality of life in Northwest Iowa, tri-state region, but also economic development opportunities. We all need the water, but expansion cost directly impacts our rates here in Sioux Center and all of our members' rates, and for our homes and businesses. I don't need to tell everybody what's been going on the last couple of years. You know, the difficulties we faced. The last things our homes and businesses need are significant rate increases due to water rate increases. This $12 million in ARPA funding from the state will be used to help offset a portion of the expansion cost of the members. This funding, as well as funding we anticipate receiving from the state of Minnesota and the state of South Dakota, is a blessing in so many ways. Over the years, we've made countless trips to Des Moines and other places, obviously. Our elected leaders in the past and the present, you've all been great supporters of this project, every step of the way of this critical project, water project for us. Governor Reynolds, Lieutenant Governor Gregg, they have been steadfast in their support, and their predecessor also, as Troy said, and certainly has provided effective leadership for us. Debbie Durham, she's not here today, but she's just been integral in our system, has been invaluable with guidance and counsel for us to move forward. This funding is just the latest example of them putting words into action. On behalf of Lewis and Clark's 20 cities and rural water systems, especially Hull, Rock Rapids, Sheldon, Sibley, and Sioux Center, we want to say a great big thank you, very much so. We'll give We've long recognized that Lewis and Clark is a legacy-type project that will impact future generations. I have kids in town, I have grandkids in town, and it's going to be generations beyond that. I cannot think of a better legacy to leave those future generations. Unfortunately, we all too often take for granted water. It's just going to be there. It's a cornerstone of our life. And we just want to thank you for partnering with us in this journey. Please know this funding is greatly appreciated, and we are going to put it to great use. Please accept these. We got some gifts. First from Lewis and Clark, we have we got three. One to Debbie also, please.
Okay.
For Sioux Center, some Casey's Bakery patties. These are famous for funding. And from Lewis and Clark, some blankets.
How appropriate for today.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
We just want to thank you and God bless.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Finally, I'm pleased to introduce Todd Ewell, an Executive Committee member and Public Works Director for the City of Sheldon, another member community of the water system.
Thank you. I feel a little bad because I don't have a joke to lead with, and everybody else did. I didn't prepare myself very well. But hello, everybody, and thanks for taking time out of your day to be here with us. It's really nice to stand in a room with this many people that share the same vision. That's pretty comforting. So I'll tell you a little story about Sheldon. Over 20 years ago, Sheldon was told that Highway 60 would be bypassing our community. Our leaders saw this as an opportunity for growth. We embraced the Highway 60 bypass and have seen substantial growth since. Unfortunately, due to low levels of federal funding for the Lewis and Clark water system through the years, Sheldon has been forced to grow without a high-quality water source. The delay in funding caused us to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a low-quality depot water source to support our demands. We will not use or need this deep well when Lewis and Clark arrives. Our community has stayed patient and continued to support the Lewis and Clark project. We've been so supportive, in fact, that we agreed to be a part of the Lewis and Clark expansion, even though we have not received a single drop of water. Thankfully, Sheldon is scheduled to receive Lewis and Clark water in 2024. And thanks to the vision and support of people like Governor Reynolds, Lieutenant Governor Gregg, and Debbie Durham, the expansion water will be available to Sheldon in a timely manner at a reduced cost to our ratepayers. Continued support and leadership like this, along with the high-quality water that Lewis and Clark will deliver, will give Sheldon the opportunity to continue to prosper. Thank you.
It testament to this area to have all of the communities working together to benefit all of Northwest Iowa as well as South Dakota and Minnesota. So it's something that you all should be very, very proud of. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate you being a part of the announcement, and to you and to all of you and your teams for the dedication to this project. I also want to thank Director Durham with the Iowa Economic Development Authority and the Iowa Finance Authority and her team. Debbie is all over this state and doing whatever she can to help drive economic development and prosperity in every single corner of Iowa, and I'm really proud. That's something that's important to me and to the Lieutenant Governor and our administration, that this growth and prosperity doesn't just happen in certain areas, that it happens over in every single corner of the state. I also want to thank my team, especially Patrick and Taryn, who have worked tirelessly with Debbie and the communities just to get through the whole process and to get the grant awarded. And just all of them have been instrumental in getting it done. So since it first began, Iowa has now invested a total of $19 million in the Lewis and Clark Regional Water System. And I'm proud that today's award kind of completes the state's portion of the project for right now. I will be making those calls to the governors in South Dakota and Minnesota. I love Christy. She's a great friend, and I just haven't had a chance to connect, but I guarantee you, I've got her cell. We're going to call them and say, come on, Christy, I got my part done. We need you to step in and let's get this done. And if there's, well, I can guarantee you that there's one thing that's true and tried and true. It is the competition between governors across this country. So I think that's going to work to all of our advantage. You can count on that. It really does ensure that Iowans living in the northwest corner of our state will be connected to clean drinking water, and I think all of the speakers have indicated how important that is. In the my condition of the state address earlier this year, really the whole theme of my condition of the state was the importance of putting our faith in the people of Iowa to build and nurture their communities. Strategic investments like the ones I've announced here today are designed to empower Iowans to do just that. And every time we put our faith and confidence in Iowans, in our communities across the state, I can tell you without hesitation, they will deliver. And that is exactly what all of you are doing today for Northwest Iowa. So thank you very much for all of your efforts to make this happen. Let's get it done. Okay?